Welcome back. Today's video shows Chris from Denver Metro Audits as he goes to the Lakewood Police Department to follow up on a previous complaint he made against the sergeant for calling him a jackass. He doesn't like the answer he gets, so he becomes just that, a jackass, and is then dismissed. He then finds an incident with a man on the ground and some police talking to the man, and then turns into Chili the law school dropout, trying to impart his ignorance onto the situation. In addition to all that, you also get the bonus of Chris's lack of self-awareness and blaming everything on everyone else here in the Frauditors Zone.
We're back here at Lakewood Police Department to follow up on my complaint that they just are going to ignore, I guess. The complaint on Sergeant Larson calling me a jackass like 5 times. Of course, they don't want to respond to that.
What Chris is referring to is on March 7th of this year, he went to a DMV and acted like a jackass, so the police were called. The police said they couldn't remove him because he had a right to record there. So instead of Chris claiming victory and acting like a jackass, he got butthurt because the sergeant called him out for acting like a jackass and then proceeded to act like a jackass and then file a complaint against the sergeant. Here is the body cam footage of the sergeant calling Chris a jackass.
So basically what's happened, it's one of these First Amendment auditors. He's come in here, he's being a jackass just like they are, and he's just trying to be a jackass.
All right.
Do you mind printing out 2 copies and we'll give this jackass one?
Well, I only counted 3 times, not 5. And I listened to the entire conversation, and those were the only times the sergeant called him a jackass. But 3, 5, facts, lies, potato, it's all the same to a frauditor. You know, you gotta lie to fraud it.
Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Sergeant Bell, right?
Yeah, okay. We're gonna help you with.
Yeah, so I'm here to, I think it's been well over a month now since I was here last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't heard anything in regards to my complaint, so I'm just stopping in to check on it.
Yeah, so that has been sent out. The second complaint that has been sent out to you. So you should be receiving that shortly.
Okay. I should be receiving it shortly.
Yep.
So did it take that long to get sent out, or?
No. It's been sent out probably 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long do these investigations typically take?
That one, not very long.
Okay.
And you'll see that when you get the letter.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, so you have my email address that you're using, right? Not that mailing address.
No, it was sent to your mailing address.
Okay, because remember last time I was here, I specifically told you don't send it to that mailing address because
Right.
I don't live there.
That's not what you told me.
Yes, it is. I have it on the live stream.
Okay.
If you'll check my channel out, I said do not send it to that address. I don't live there.
Okay, well, I don't want to argue with you, but that's where it was sent. Do you have a mailing address that we can send
That's what I'm saying, man. You don't listen because I specifically told you several times, email it to me. I don't live there, and you went and sent it to that address.
It's been sent out. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes. Can you? Since I don't live there, can you please send it to my email address so I can check that response? Maybe that's why I haven't gotten it.
Okay.
Because you guys mailed it after I told you specifically several times not to mail it.
If Chris had been less of a jackass, maybe they would have emailed it to him. In addition, as Chris knew they had the wrong mailing address, he should have just given them the correct address. The only person he's spiting by not doing that is himself. I would tell Chris that it must be easier to just blame everyone else for everything that goes wrong in his life, but as we can see here, it's not easier. Had he just given them the correct mailing address, he would have received it by now. Had he just not treated them like his own personal servant, maybe they would have done him a favor and emailed it to him. I say to Chris that ignorance is bliss, but Chrissy here does not seem blissful in any way. So, to Chris I say, you are your own worst enemy.
Well,
I'm frustrated here, man, because it's been over a month.
I understand that you're frustrated.
And then you mailed it again to my after I specifically told you not to do that, and then now you're saying that I told you to mail it to my address, which I didn't.
No, I never said that you said mail it to your address. You said to send it to your email address.
Yeah.
I sent it to your mailing address.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I told you not to do that, so.
Okay.
You can't always get what you want.
Is there anything else I can help you
yes.
with?
Do you want to take down my email address? Then Because I'm not going to see that hard copy for another month or so, maybe even longer. Are you going to email that to me today?
Probably not, but we'll get to it when we can. Because I have to run this through my chain of command to make sure that they're okay with me emailing them.
They have to be okay with you emailing me?
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that said that you can receive it via email on the complaint itself. Why do you have to get approval to email me?
Because that's not the way that we do business.
Okay, so what if someone's homeless and they want to file a complaint on an officer, and how do they get the complaint back?
Typically, they have some mailing address that we have.
So homeless people have mailing addresses?
Okay, Chris, I'm not going to argue with you.
This is a legitimate question,
I'm not
man.
going to sit here and argue with you all day.
This isn't an argument. I'm asking you a legitimate question.
You suck, you jackass.
Have a nice day.
Oh, I'm not done. You're going to walk away from me?
I am. Take care.
No, man, I'm not done. Still have questions. Hey. Hey, bud. Look at this guy, man. You just made yourself look really bad in front of everyone, man. Do better, bud. Look at this guy. See the disdain? See how he can't stand me?
Well, I can't stand you as well, Chris, and I'm willing to bet that most of the people watching this video can't stand you either. Now, out of all these people that can't stand you, there is one common denominator. The day you could figure out who that is, and the day you take steps to do something about it, well, is the day hell freezes over. I know.
Alright guys, this is the response they sent me about my complaint. It states, they counseled the sergeant regarding courtesy. So to me, that means they didn't do anything. They said, hey, you know what? He is a jackass, but just, next time, don't do it in front of the camera. And then they probably gave each other a high five. At the bottom here, it says, the Lakewood Police Department strives to provide its citizens with the highest professional services possible. I hope you will find any future contact with our department to be a more positive experience. And what it should say here is, we let Sergeant Larson go.
Really, it should say that they let the sergeant go because he called you a jackass behind your back? How self-absorbed are you, Chris? Do you have any idea how many people probably say bad things behind your back? I imagine there are a lot. Again, we go to the whole common denominator thing, which applies here as well. Anyway, this sergeant may have saved lives. He may have gotten criminals off the street. And who knows what other good things he might have done in his career. But he should be fired because your feelings are hurt? I thought frauditors don't want the feelings police. Make up your mind and then do better.
In the private sector, if an employee calls a customer a jackass 5 times, they'd be fired.
Well, that would be the case in all sectors. However, this officer never called him that word to his face. He said it behind his back. And if a person called a customer that word behind the customer's back, I don't think that person would be fired either. Anyway, I thought we were all for free speech. It seems that frauditors don't want the feelings police unless it's their feelings that are in question, and frauditors fight for free speech as long as the speech isn't against them. That would make sense why this jackass filed so many copyright strikes on Frauditor Troll. Now, while I'm usually confused why frauditors do what they do, I'm actually really beginning to understand now.
What we're experiencing here is prejudice. I believe in several years we're going to look back at this time period with this 1A stuff the same way we look at black people in the 60s.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's discrimination. He only called me a jackass because I was holding a camera, exercising my rights that he swore an oath to defend.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You okay, partner? Can you breathe?
Alright, so the real thing.
Okay.
I am faking it.
Did you just say you're faking it? Okay. Sit up, man. Sit up, please. Thank you. He's gonna put you in cuffs. Yeah, I think that's gonna be playing games. Yeah.
This part is why I was faking it, because I feel threatened and under stress.
Why do you feel threatened?
I feel threatened because I had people scaring me with the life of my friends and family. The people have threatened the lives of my friends and probably hurt my girlfriend and my other girlfriends, or have intimidated them, is something that I'm really upset about. And this whole episode is terrible. Terrible. They had a car,
They found each other.
and I hit them with my car. I hit people with my car because they are part of a group, a criminal syndicate.
When did you hit someone with your car?
A criminal syndicate that will not let me go, and these people surrounding me, including this camera person there, are part of this criminal group. All right? I am stuck here, and I'm not valuing my own life, and at the risk and safety of myself, I'm just losing it, but I'm losing it because you guys won't let me go or lay off. All right? So,
Hi, Ramon.
hi ma'am, how are you?
Good, how are you? I'm Agent Scott Nato.
Scott Nada?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. So, at this point, I can read you Miranda Rights. If there's something that you want to talk about specifically, you don't have any warrants or anything. Are you willing to?
If you guys can make sure that my
those rights to
girlfriend...
you, or what's going on with your girlfriend? Is she here?
I don't know, but I heard somebody hurt her, and I want to make sure she's safe.
Okay.
And I don't know about that. So if she's safe, and all this is great, as a setup, I get it. You know, we've all been looking forward to seeing me. Okay?
Do
We've
you
all been
want me
looking
to
forward
call
to
your girlfriend and make sure she's okay, or?
that. Yeah.
Do you have a phone number for her by any chance?
It was in my phone, but it's... Can I move? Can I adjust myself? It's hurting right
We can
now.
bring you up to a chair. Do you want to sit in a chair?
Can I bring myself up?
No, let's help you out.
Yeah, oh, that's great, great. Yes, I don't want to fall. I want to make sure that we're okay.
Yeah, so let's just walk over to this chair, partner. You're okay. You're all right.
Feel better? I'm feeling better. I just want to make sure that I'm helped correctly and fully, so I don't have to stress things out anymore.
Okay, so I tell you what, Ramon. So you are currently in handcuffs.
Yeah.
So I can't ask you any questions without reading you Miranda Rights. And so I don't know exactly why you're here or what's going on, but I'm going to read you these rights, and you can decide if you want me to ask you questions or not, if you'd be willing to answer those questions. Does that sound fair? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak with an attorney and to have an attorney present before and during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one for you free of charge. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you? Do you understand the rights that I just read to you and explained to you, or do you want me to read them to you again?
Yes. Can you do it again?
Absolutely, I can. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
I understand.
You have the right to speak with an attorney and to have an attorney present before and during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one to you free of charge. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
Can you do it one more time? I need these repeated.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll ask you after each line, okay, and make sure you understand it.
Please don't do that. It'll confuse me.
Okay. I don't want to do that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak with an attorney and to have an attorney present before and during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one to you free of charge. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained?
Understand these privileges.
Having these rights in mind, are you willing to answer questions at this time? You can stop at any time. You can tell me at any time that you no longer wish to answer questions.
I no longer wish to answer questions.
Okay.
I want to make sure everything is correct and good and no one was hurt in this episode. Are you guys all okay?
We're okay. Are you okay?
Yes.
I just want to make sure you're not injured or you don't need medical attention.
I am not injured. I don't need medical attention. But as long as everyone else understands that wonderful help. These are great. I appreciate this, Steve. You guys are great. Thank you. You guys are great.
Don't thank them, man. They just locked you in handcuffs, bro. Just be quiet, man. You're under arrest. They're trying to build a case on you right now. Just be quiet. You had it right the first time.
I'm actually impressed with Chris. I'm impressed it took him so long to spew his nonsense and try to impede in the investigation. It was almost as if he was just auditing the situation, but then he opened his mouth and the frauditor spewed out. Darn.
So I'm just gonna chat with my partner for a moment, okay? And figure out what we're gonna do next, okay?
Actually, they turned off their body cameras so they could have a private conversation about what to do. But I guess when you think that everyone is against yourself, you just assume that they're also against everyone else as well. I wonder where Chris is hiding his tinfoil hat that he must own.
But you should know what you're under arrest for. They have to tell you.
What am I under arrest for, guys?
So you're not under arrest, you're detained.
Okay, cool.
So the reason you're in handcuffs is because the way that you were moving around erratically and dropping all over the place. And then you admitted to us that you were faking your seizure. So we didn't know if you were faking your seizure to, get close to us so that if we came up to you and start a fight or something. So just in the name of everybody's safety, you were handcuffed because you're kind of acting a little unpredictable. Yeah. So that's what's going on there, man. So you have made some statements about hitting someone with your car.
Huh?
Yeah, so when you were on the ground there, you mentioned something about hitting someone with your car.
No.
So that could be a crime. So if we were going to ask clarifying questions about that, you have the right to not basically self-incriminate when you're detained. So that's why you were Mirandized. So that's what's going on there. As far as what's going on with you after this, dude, we're worried about your mental health. You've said some things about having some mental health episodes right now. So we're just going to have a little talk, see if there's a good place we can help you get or send you on your way. But we just want to know what's going on with you, man. So that's why you're in cuffs. That's why you're Mirandized. It turns out that taking legal advice from strangers isn't always a fully accurate way of going about your business. So what's going on with you, man?
I need water.
You need some water?
I've been working all day.
Okay, we can get you some water.
From the heat.
Okay.
It's a very hard job. Just delirious.
Yeah, get you some water. As far as your mental health goes, man, are you thinking about hurting yourself?
No.
No. Have you been having any mental health issues lately? And made some mistakes?
I'm in handcuffs. I need to be left alone.
Okay, that's fine.
I would love some water.
Okay, we will absolutely get you some water and then I'll meet you on your way shortly, okay?
Yeah. Good job, man. I'm not an attorney, that's true. But I do know that when they read you their Miranda rights, it's because they're going to ask you questions without an attorney present. So they have to do that because they're trying to build up a case on you, man.
They read him his Miranda rights because they're required to by law to protect his Fifth Amendment right, and they now suspect that he might have hit someone with a car.
That's what they're doing, bro. So you haven't committed a crime, okay?
Good.
Acting a little strange isn't against the law. They have to have reasonable articulable suspicion to detain you, 16-3-103. And I don't think they have that, man. I don't think just, being a little weird is a crime, so.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely a little weird. Oh, I'm still in cuffs.
You are still in cuffs.
Sorry, guys.
That is true.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Once
So
you're a little bit more calmed down, you'll come out of cuffs and we'll send you on your
more
way.
calm down.
Can you?
He's gotta be more
can
calm
you
than this,
relieve
guys.
some pressure on this. It
Yeah.
really hurts.
We
On
can
this
take a
right
look.
cuff.
We can definitely take a look.
And I really need a lot of water.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get you a lot of water.
You should just
I
let
just
him out of
wanted
the
to-
cuffs completely.
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Hasn't committed a
because
crime,
the,
man.
The water, it makes me delirious.
How's that, man?
Thank you.
Okay. So there isn't an investigation going on about an additional crime that you don't really know a lot about. We're not really going to talk about on camera. But just so you know, he is associated with some other events that we at least have to chase down. That's why he's detained.
Well, there you go. That gives the police the RAS and explains why the man's still in handcuffs. But let's see how Chris finds a way to impart his ignorance into the situation now.
Well, that's not what you said. You said he was detained because he was acting
Do you want
weird.
me to push them back onto your face? Is that more comfortable?
That's more comfortable.
He's the public servant, you're the public. He's here to serve you. You don't apologize to him. They put you in torture cuffs, man.
It was really rough. It was really rough.
And you didn't commit a crime. They just said they're going to release you. They're going to wait for you to calm down. I guess sitting down is not calm enough.
I see
I
that.
got your water here.
Oh, thank you very much.
They're going to act like they're heroes because they didn't give you some water. Is there a reason this man's still in handcuffs? He already said he was going to release him. There's no crime.
Yeah, I need to check on that. I know someone was making a phone call.
I would love for that.
You have to articulate a crime, ma'am.
And you understand that you were just detained in handcuffs for safety reasons.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you guys aware of CRS 16-3-103? It's one that you guys should use quite often. It states that you have to have a reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed, or he's in the process of a crime, or he's about to commit a crime, to detain someone.
Yeah, what is this? I appreciate it.
So,
Can you...
this is an illegal detainment.
To anyone that even thinks for a second that Chris knows what he's talking about, ask yourself this. If you come to need an officer, would you want Chris to show up? If you need a lawyer, would you want Chris to be your lawyer? I rest my case.
You guys are breaking the law right now.
It's true. Thank you. Appreciate that. Can you release me?
They already said they're going to release him. Why is he still in handcuffs? This is crazy. He's obviously a threat to no one. He's just sitting there.
He's obviously a threat to no one because he's just sitting there in handcuffs. If they let this man out of handcuffs and this man went and attacked Chris, who would be at fault? Chris, right? Well, not to Chris. He'd blame the officers for not protecting him. That's how frauditors think. Scary, isn't it?
I can't hear why I'm detained. I need to go free.
Just for the same reasons that we were talking about for safety reasons.
Safety
and
reasons,
then
can they not-
continuing their investigation. So
Can...
You don't get to detain someone and then do an investigation. You do the investigation first.
So if they suspect that someone just killed someone else, they aren't allowed to detain the person. They have to investigate first. Meanwhile, the suspect gets away or kills someone else while they're investigating. I'm glad that this is only the case in Chris's crazy mind and not a part of reality.
I was on a panic attack and I'm willing to sit down without cuffs and without arrest. I'd like to be free. Free of all things. Free.
Are
That's
you having
it.
a panic attack now?
No, I'm fine now. I just want to be firm about it.
So having a panic attack in Lakewood gets you thrown in torture cuffs, guys. Don't you guys have a mental health resources officer here? If Chris is afraid for his safety, they should be out here talking to him. So we're going on. This man's been detained for like 25 minutes without a crime.
Okay, partner, so here's what's going on. You were detained under reasonable suspicion for being involved in hit and run yesterday. You made some spontaneous utterances that we didn't ask you about when you were up here at the front desk with us.
I don't hear you. What?
You can hear me. So you made some spontaneous utterances alluding to hitting someone with your car.
Huh?
So right now, you are under arrest. You're going to get a citation. You'll be cut loose after that, okay? So because you are under arrest for the time being, we are going to move you to a secure area. We'll do the rest of our business there, and then you'll be on with your day, okay? So that's what's going on.
You guys put him in handcuffs before he said anything.
I
You
don't
were
know
there
what you're
for all
I was
talking
here.
about. I don't know what you're
It's
talking
hot.
about, man.
Okay.
This man was placed in handcuffs prior to saying one word about being involved in a hit and run.
They had a car,
They found each other.
and I hit them with my car. I hit people with my car.
In fact, Officer Ackerson admitted he was placed in handcuffs for, quote, moving around erratically.
So the reason you're in handcuffs is because the way that you're moving around erratically and dropping all over the place.
Now, it's true I'm not an attorney like Officer Ackerson said, but I'm pretty sure moving around erratically is not a crime.
And I'm pretty sure that Chris is an idiot. That man was put in handcuffs because he was moving around erratically and they didn't want the man to hurt himself or anyone else. The reason he stayed in handcuffs is because the police now suspected him of hitting someone with his car. I laugh at how a frauditor comes upon a scene and knows exactly what happened and knows if the person is dangerous or not and if the person committed a crime or not. I laugh at how idiotic they sound and how good they think they sound. It's like there's an elephant in the room and they never realize that they are the elephant. Anyway, at this point, they took the man elsewhere, and Chrissy found something else to file the complaint on an officer about, so his day was quite full and complete. The end. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. It's now time to cool down from the Frauditor zone. The link to the cooldown video is right above, and the link to my entire new cooldown channel is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it and hit the like button. Good night.